Trump's rhetoric is very dangerous for Black people.
What rhetoric have you heard Trump say that made you feel like he was divisive and or dangerous?
So I wouldn't say it was directly to me, but me as being in the whole of him talking over Mike to the American people of exactly some of the things they're going to do. Send people back to their countries with their families. Take out things that is such as special needs out of the schools, taking away all the things. So for me, it's like he want to get rid of that, make America great again. What does that mean?
America has a penalty to drug dealers. I mean,
all those drug dealers, meaning cartel level drug dealers, somebody selling nickel bags on the street is not going to get the death penalty.
Well, he would not know because the way that
we do. And the law actually hasn't been written yet also for us.
But it's on their way. So looking forward,
if you're such define what the drug dealer is that will entail them to be deserving of the death penalty, then maybe we can bring this argument back up. But so to assume that somebody selling a dime bag on the corner is going to get the death penalty, I think is a bit outrageous.
Well, and I feel like let's know that they say about the police being able to have immunity in reference to our case. So, and you guys talk to an officer about Obama. What I'm saying is if my son is in a car and let's say a cop come up and his tail light may not be out, but he might do something to make it out. Or he may find some type of small infraction just to stop him when initially there was no reason for the stop. So for me as a Black mother, single mother of a 19-year-old child, that's disturbing to know that at any moment my son is stopped.
And his 19-year-old child is not going to be looked at as a child. He's going to look as a stranger.
So let me jump in before she goes, because I do think that, and everybody has a right for their passion, don't get me wrong. But I think it's unfair to point the finger when the last 4 years for sure, maybe even 5, we can even say 5, but last I checked, recently for me, I was out here rioting in Atlanta because of George Floyd. I was rioting in Atlanta because of all the other people who have lost their life behind police brutality and everything else going on. That is not a presidential thing when we're talking about one of the biggest gangs in the world in regards to policing. There's a lot of things that need to change in regards to policing.
But that's the thing, bro. Like if he's saying that he wants complete police immunity, that means they're not going to. Does that mean anything?
Because if you guys looked at what he said after when he talked at the NHBJ conference, where he talked about, yes, they will have immunity, but there will also be a board that they have to answer to determine whether or not they were actually doing their job. So if your son gets pulled over for a simple traffic stop and for whatever reason deadly force is used, then there's going to be a heavy analysis as to why in the world was deadly force ever used. And then there's still an opportunity for that officer to be held responsible for his actions. And much like what Josh just said, police pretty much in these situations have already been immune. So we're acting like the status quo, like you asked earlier, does not exist. We're acting like anything is going to change by Trump saying, hey, if you're in these situations, you can do this, even though usually you might not be able to. Y'all are jumping straight to, oh my God, they're going to kill Black men in the street. First of all, no, you're not going to have the power to go out and be immune from killing people because now you have more power than the president himself. No president is going to sign off for somebody to have the right to kill them and be immune from it. These are the things that we have to think about. Additionally, like I said, the status quo already is that Black men are getting killed by police and they're not being held accountable for it. So to act like Trump has emboldened police by saying this is ridiculous because this was a problem under Obama. And we all asked Obama to sign an executive order to make it mandatory that police wear body cams. And what did Obama do? He got on stage, cried, and said if he had a son, he'd look like Trayvon, and we got not one piece of legislation. Instead, right after that, he just gave gays the right to marry, and we forgot all about our man Trayvon.